What holds us back from taking action? Chances are you know the actions you need to take. Taking action and getting yourself unstuck really involves just taking that first step, getting ready and fire. Hello, welcome to the Work-Life Mindset Podcast. My name is Chris, and I'm so grateful that you're here to join me today. What I want to discuss and bring up is this concept of taking action, okay? And understanding why we often don't take action. What holds us back from taking action, okay? And in my experience, through my own journey and getting to help others through this kind of work, I've seen some common threads, right? And that's kind of what I want to bring some awareness to. And I think it's important to note this stuff and question this stuff because the questions you ask yourself are going to dictate the results you get in the life you get to live. So again, I'd like to believe that if there's one gift I could give everybody, it's awareness. I think when we start to get aware of maybe these concepts of how and why we might be holding ourselves back, well, then we can start to take action, right? And understand, what's going on in our head, what's going on in our subconscious, and where do we need to direct our attention, and what questions do we need to ask to start taking more action. Because I don't know about you, but particularly, leading up to the pandemic, maybe even during the pandemic, like there are a lot of times of being stuck and feeling stuck. I feel like a lot of people are stuck. And this also, comes about during changes and transitions. I got really stuck when I was a new dad as a stay-at-home parent. And had to deal with a lot of, challenging emotions and states and bad habits because of that. So I kind of just decided one day enough is enough, and I'm going to start taking action and get unstuck. And through the exploration of personal growth and development and all the abundant resources that are out there, again, I found some common themes with myself that have also, been shared by others. So that's what I want to go into. And the title for this episode I'm going to go for is Ready, Fire, Aim. And to talk about that, that's this concept to get yourself unstuck. We just need to be taking action. Okay. In past episodes, I talk about addressing beliefs, and that is real powerful. I think you got to do that to have sustained growth, but you don't need to start there. That's going to allow this to be continuous. But if you kind of can follow with my cycle, that beliefs become your thoughts, which become your actions, which create results, and those results are going to reinforce your beliefs or tear down old limiting beliefs. You kind of hack that system by going straight to the action. It's not always as sustainable because over time you tend to lose that motivation. But we want to create drive, right? We want to stay driven. And that's where I think we want to do the work in the beliefs, but to get up and get going and feel good again and be taking action. We often just need to start with action. I have learned that when you're feeling bad, action is very hard to take. When you feel good, action is very easy to take. Okay. And again, some of these common themes that I have held me back and I know hold a lot of people back from taking action. The first one is this concept of lack of self-worth. Okay, this question of, am I enough? Am I doing it enough? And it all really stems from confidence. And I think we are all grow up into adulthood with a confidence deficiency. We are always questioning whether or not we're doing it right. And that just stems from, again, when we're a child and we're always being corrected by our parent or our guardian or the adults in our lives. And you'll see toddlers and even infants do this all the time, where they do something and they look over the shoulder like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And as we grow into adulthood, there's nobody behind us for us to check if we're doing it right. But we still ask ourselves that all the time. And just in asking that, we're reinforcing that belief that we're not enough, that we're not doing it right. We always have to ask ourselves for that. And recognizing that from that lack of confidence, we sometimes just don't feel like we deserve the success we want. Again, the brain will really trend toward negative thoughts and thinking. So it's going to look at all these past experiences we've had that maybe we failed or we've dealt with rejection, and it's just going to be like, that's what's going to happen. Don't take action, right? This isn't going to work out well. And that's a bummer because that's just a fear of rejection or maybe a fear of failure. And that fear is, it's not real. I mean, the fear, we are experiencing pain for some future event that hasn't even happened yet. And who knows if it will happen, but we're using that fear and that pain to keep us right where we are. The brain is doing that. It loves doing that because the brain doesn't want us to grow and develop. The brain doesn't want challenges. Thinking takes up an enormous amount of energy in our body. So the more thinking that the brain can put on autopilot, it thinks it's best for us and it'll keep us alive. But recognizing when we're kind of holding ourselves back because of a lack of self-worth, can bring some awareness, and we can start ask those questions like, why am I worthy of this? Why do I deserve this? And what's the evidence to show me that I can succeed and I have done this before? Um, the other interesting thing about confidence is it's not going to come without making a commitment and taking action. Confidence actually comes from getting results, right? But all that starts with making a commitment. Even if it's a new scary commitment, you don't know if you can do it. Well, you just commit to it. And generally, we find that we're capable. It takes some courage. We evoke courage to show ourselves we're fully capable. And when we go and do something, we get these great results. And from those results, we're ready to have more confidence and make a new commitment. So it's kind of like a ladder. Dan Sullivan is a strategic business coach, and he's all about the commitment confidence ladder. So we need to take action sometimes to build this. So if you recognize confidence is a big struggle for you, understand that you're going to have to push back and take some action to kind of overcome that. This other one that really resonates with me is the concept of perfectionism, right? I used to always self identify as a perfectionist. Everything had to be right. And a lot of that is just a belief I carried from childhood and even as a young adult. I was put in charge of a lot of things and people at a young age. And I was kind of like a professional planner. I had to make things right. And I found if I made things perfect, I was less likely to be surprised when things didn't maybe go the way they were supposed to go. But perfection is kind of BS. Like, I don't really think the concept of perfect exists. It's really just a way we look at things, and what's perfect to us may not be perfect to others. Um, I learned that perfectionism was just a mask that I wore to cover up this fear I had of maybe failing or not allowing myself to see the deficiencies in there. And overcoming perfectionism really involves, I believe, getting this awareness that it doesn't exist. Um, Folks that I've gotten to work with, even like authors that are doing books, have come to understand that you really only need to get things and products to 70 or 80% to release them. If you wait to get, something to 100%, even in your own mind, in your own perception, you're going to spend so much time doing that, you might not even release it. Um, think about any product or project maybe in school you've worked on or something for work. um, we all tend to get feedback from things. In fact, we can do something that we think is perfect, and then when it's out there, we right away go and critique it. Oh, I could have done that better. I could have done that better. And people give us that feedback, and that's great. That's part of growth and learning, is recognizing that that's going to happen. So that, like, release it at 70% concept is tied to this understanding that you're going to spend so much effort getting it from 70 to 100%, where once it's out there, you're going to have to redo at least 30% of it based on the feedback you get. So just get it out there, you know It doesn't need to be perfect. I don't really think that concept, for me, anyways, no longer exists. I just want to dump stuff out there. I'm not going to edit the crap out of all these podcasts. I'm just going to do them and put them out. And if I see changes I want to make, I'll make them in the future. No big deal. The Another one here comes back to indecisiveness and being not willing to make a decision. And that really, for me, brings up this concept of decision fatigue, right? That's very present in everybody's lives. It's still present in my life. I mean, we are making thousands of decisions every day. That's usually why I would come home at the end of the day and just want to shut off. That's why I'd want to go have a beer. That's why I want to watch TV. I just don't want to make decisions. It makes like choosing what we're going to have for dinner so difficult. Like cooking the food isn't even like I don't have resistance about that. Neither, does Jocelyn. It's more just like what are we going to have? Making that decision because by then we are exhausted, right? And something has happened to us in the past that our decisions have been questioned by others, ourselves. So again, we don't have that confidence that we're able to make a decision. So instead of making a decision, we take no action because that's easy. It's comfortable. We can get away with that. That's been reinforced that in some circumstances, we can just sit here and not take decisions and that's okay. But then it's also not okay because we're not going to grow and develop from that. So the solution to taking action is to really like get off the court. Sorry, get on the court, like get off the bench, like start taking action. Chances are the actions you need to take. If this is tied to your health, you need to get out and do some exercising. If this is tied to your diet, you need to bring some intention into your meal planning. If this is relationships, maybe you need to go seek some help and guidance or read some books or communicate more clearly. If this is tied to finances, I'm sure you need to start paying attention to finances and set budgets. Um, it's not really that we don't understand what the first step is, but our thinking is not allowing us to even connect with that first step. And even if it is, there's so much fatigue and, oh, I'm not going to do it right. Or, gosh, I'm not even really worthy of that. Right. So, taking action and getting ourselves unstuck really involves just taking that first step, getting ready and fire. Don't worry about the aiming part. Like we will aim when we get clarity of how this is going and we'll make the right course corrections. You don't need to know the end game to take action. Often that end game, that target's going to move and keep shifting based on what you're learning from taking action. So again, like with a physical health quest or diet or, wanting to change, we know we need to be exercising. We know we need to be doing this, but we kind of hold ourselves back because, well, I don't really know how to exercise or I don't know what a weightlift routine looks like. I don't, whatever, like get out and just go for a walk, go out and ride a bike, just do something to start feeling good. And in that space, you're going to start to learn what your body can handle, what you like to do, what's exciting for you. Um, Not taking action is just delaying, your happiness and your joy, if that even ever comes. So understanding we don't need to know really the outcome. We just need to take some action and get results. And from those results, we're going to have confidence and we're going to be able to really build evidence to our new beliefs. And it's going to make it even easier to take action the next time around because we have better thinking. We have better thoughts, right? We've talked about beliefs. And if you have a limiting belief, that's creating negative thinking, which is generally means you're not taking action or you're playing small. So if you want to be bold and take bold proposals, we need empowering thoughts and empowering thinking, right? So what I would leave you with is these, couple questions, right? Because the questions we ask are going to dictate really the results we get. And when it comes to taking action, understanding, I think one really powerful question is, how do I typically hold myself back? Is it my thinking? Is it my environment? Do I set a date to go to the gym, but I always talk myself out of it? I make excuses. Just how do you do that? And be curious and recognize that. Make space for awareness for what that is. Understand how you are currently holding yourself back. And it might be the same as how you always do it, but it also could be different. Maybe, like in this instant, you're holding yourself back in a totally new way that you've never held yourself back in the past. What do I need to do to take more action? What barriers do you need to break down, right? But what do you need to be doing to take action? Um, what do you need to take action on? Like, what are these specific things? Okay, if you know you need to change your thinking or change your environment to take action, but what do you want to take action on? What is that? Is it a routine? Is it self care in the morning? Is it new habits? Is it doing more of something? Is it doing less of something? Is it starting something new or maybe just stopping something altogether? We just kind of want to make space to that. And we just get ready and fire and then aim. Don't expect that we need to know the whole outcome. So that's what I have for you. That's how I have learned to start taking action, bringing awareness to my own self worth, to the perfectionism, to the decision fatigue that holds me back. And a lot of this is all kind of tied to, like, am I doing it right? Um, so from there, I want to invite you to ask yourself again, how do I hold myself back? And what do I need to do to help myself take action? And what do I want to take action on? So that's what we got. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like more tips and tricks on all this stuff, we put out a lot of good content on Instagram at Work Life Mindset. I also have an awesome Facebook group, the Work Life Mindset group. You can join there. We do free challenges and also deliver a lot of content and value there. And a lot of this information and free resources can be found on the website, worklifemindset.com. Have a beautiful day. Thanks so much.